What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another stream. Deadline for Game Week 27 is 2 hours away, or just under 2 hours away. We will be discussing free hit teams, we'll be talking transfers, we'll be talking how we got on in Game Week 26. All your questions, of course, will be answered in the run-up to the deadline. I have had a mental day at work, hardly looked at my team today, so I will be looking at my team on stream. I'll also be looking at your teams. Of course, if you guys want me to get your team up on screen, you can let me know, but it looks like the FPL team website is having issues again, as it does close to the deadline, but that's fine. I'm not too worried about using it today. I am well, but, finally here for a stream. Haven't had very much time, ran from work, set up the stream, and now we are here. But if you are in already, please make sure you have liked the stream, because that obviously at the start of the stream really helps it get shared out. We are also chasing our 16k subscriber goal during this stream. We need about 43 subscribers. We need 43 subscribers to get to that target today, so hopefully we make it there. But yeah, I think that's all of it. Say hello in the chat and I will get into my usual rounds of hellos in just a moment. Just rearranging a few little bits, but let me test that that's working. Yep, that's all up and running. Cool. Let's get into it. But yeah, if you could like the stream as we get going, that would be great. What are my thoughts on Reguilon? So Reguilon's I'm not Reguilon's biggest fan, because I sold him a few weeks ago. He's a bit rotation prone. He probably comes in for this weekend, but it's against a Leeds side that do like to score goals. Aiden, how are we doing? James, Philip, Luke, Zubair. Welcome, guys. Some familiar faces in here. Thank you for joining. Rohit, Shiraz, Adams, Philip, Ayaram, Dorj, Kalaidi, Milos, it's Benji, Hawk Key Boy. We've got a few members in here. We've got a few mods in here. We've got Magic in. We've got Denin. We've got Prithaj. Big shout out to the mods and to the members of the stream. If you are considering joining as a member, there's a link in the description down below. Tier 1 gets you your basic tier, which gets you the stuff in the chat. And Tier 2 gets you access to a Twitter group chat with myself. I'm looking to migrate it away from Twitter at some point. But yeah, that will come in due course. So, Game Week 26, triple captain week for a lot of us. I got 146 points, was pretty pleased with that. Thought I'd end up more of it going into the last night, where I had 6 players play. I had Saar, who scored a total of 0 with an own goal. I had Kilman, who scored a total of 1 point with 2 goals conceded. I had White, who scored 2 points. I had Odegaard, who scored 2. I had Saka, who scored 1 because he got a yellow card. And I had Jimenez, who scored 1 with a yellow card. So I had 6 players last night, and they managed a total of 7 points. Didn't go nearly as I'd planned last night, but is what it is. Is what it is. I was still pretty pleased with it. I got a green arrow. Unfortunately, my overall rank is not inside the top 10k. We are 300 places outside the top 10k, but for anyone who's watched any of my videos this week, being on a free hit this week that looks like this currently, I'm hoping that I might be able to squeeze my way into the top 10k this week. Your wildcard didn't pay off, Sam. I know. Yeah, still a good chance I'll beat my best ever season. That's always the aim. Can't be competing with top managers all the time, Sam. You put Che Adams instead of Broja. I don't have the money, unfortunately, to go with Che Adams. If I did, I don't quite know where I would go. It's a very template team at the moment. I'm not 100% sure how to check if you have 2 free hits. Basically, if you played one so far this season, just go back through your game weeks and see if you've played one or not. So it's a very template team at the moment. There are potential changes that I make to it this week, because I'm not 100% certain on double Southampton against a Norwich team who have looked much better in recent weeks. So there's a chance that I change him. But I have virtually no money in the bank in order to change him. Can't always compete with top managers all the time. That seems so patronising. It's just because Sam and I are in a league together. No money for Bruno and Sterling. If you can't, I think key ways to downgrade a free hit that looks like this is Fernandes to Sancho. It's probably Foden in for one of the Man City guys. It's potentially, Pope and Livramento to cheap the Southampton goalkeeper and Foster, and then going for the double Burnley defence. I'm considering that anyway. I just think there's going to be a goal from a set piece for Burnley in this double game week. I'm pretty sure of it, but I don't know where it's going to come from. So I maybe just hedge my bets and just get all the 3 aerial targets in Tarkowski, in me, and in Weghorst, and just hope that one of the players that I own does it. Any doubts now that Grealish and Jesus are available? I don't necessarily think they come back in straight away this weekend. I think they'll play the Cup midweek, so at the moment I'm fairly happy with how it's looking. If nothing happens between now and the deadline, I think I'll probably end up not changing it. So I got an itch. If I look at transfers that I could potentially make, so I got 0.1 in the bank. My issue with this team is Livramento. I'm pretty certain, Pope's going to play. Is the thought of having Foster in the bench worth it? Because I could do Foster to... Let's zoom out so I get it next to it. I could do Foster to goalkeepers. I could do Foster to... Come on, where are the cheap ones? McGovern. And then I could do... Gunn could play for Southampton, to be fair. I could do that, actually. That frees up another 0.1. I think he's probably going to play tonight. Krulla's come back, but I don't know if he'll be thrown straight back in. I could do that, which frees up another 0.1, which means I have 0.2. And again, it's not that much, but I could downgrade Elanga. So there's a few things that I'm working on here. Denon, how are we doing? You put Che Adams instead of Brozier. Yeah, I quite like that. I think Che Adams is quite a nice differential. I don't have space for him in my team because of budget, but I don't dislike it that much as a pick. Jay Ward-Prowse till game week 32. Then Maddison. I like Ward-Prowse. A good fixture this week and a good double game week next week. Again, it's just he's competing against so many good midfielders. And when you have a Southampton option like Brozier, who is the price that Brozier is, then I find it difficult to go and back him. What do I have? You only have 1 free hit left and you have triple Liverpool and 2 Arsenal. Then I'd play your free hit. As long as you've got your wild card, then I think you're in fine. As it says on that side, should you free hit, if you've got less than 10 players and you still have your wild card or 2 free hits, then I think you're fine. The only case that you shouldn't is if you've used your other free hit and your wild card already, then I think you should save it. I wish you could combine chips like having free hit and bench boost. That would be quite something. Could you imagine? You could free hit, bench boost, triple captain all in 1 week. Could you imagine the scores that we'd see if that was the case? I like my team. I think it looks strong. But yeah, I am considering Pope out, Livramento out, and then going Ben Mee in. I'm on goalkeepers here. Ben Mee in. And then, I've got 5.1 for a goalkeeper. And there's plenty of goalkeepers that I could get here. So Fabianski I don't really want. Schmeichel against Burnley I don't really want. But I could go Dubravka. I could go... I can't quite afford De Gea, I don't think. No, I could go Dubravka. I could go... Predicting Palace is difficult. I could go Forster of Southampton. That's not... I could do that with me in there. So I got double Burnley defence and then... I've still got 0.7 to play with this, and I could upgrade and have a better first, second, or a first defensive sub. So, yeah, I'm looking at these sort of things. You have Ben Mee in game week 26, Denon. What a score you would have got with that. Very happy for you if you've done that well this week. Let me zoom in so it looks something like this. Yeah, template FC. It's true. It's true. This is a very template team. Nice to see you guys, all of you in already. It's only been live about 5 minutes. As I've mentioned, we are going for 16k subscribers. We need 40 left. I'm sure there's 40 of you in the chat who are already not subscribed. And there are 300 of you watching and only 50 likes. I won't plug it all the way through the stream, but it just helps at the very beginning to get it shared out a bit more. So if you guys, let's hit 100 likes straight away. Don't leave it for someone else. It's completely free and it helps me. So if you could subscribe if you haven't and like the stream. But let's get into your questions now rather than talking about my team. Ward-Prowse or Rafinha? I'd probably go Ward-Prowse because of the double, but it's pretty close because of how good his double is. It's pretty close. Rafinha is guaranteed to play in 30. If you need the player for 30, I'd probably go Rafinha, but if you don't, then I'd go Ward-Prowse. Aletco, thank you for subscribing straight away. I'll subscribe if you give you a shout out. Absolutely not. Play Cornet, Bowen, or Grahey. I'd probably play Cornet. My issue is he's not necessarily going to play both games, but I think there's a big enough chance that he starts. He's going to start at least one, I think. You're not captaining Weghorst. What if he does a Dennis and gets a red card? Well, yeah, but that's anyone could do that. You could do that in a single game week as well, right? So, Prithaz, Sterling and Mahrez or KDB Mahrez? I'm going Sterling over KDB just because I think he's slightly more explosive. I think KDB will start, but Sterling, if you look at that Man City team and think, who's going to get me a hat-trick this week? Mahrez and Sterling are top of that list. And when you want a free hit, going long-term over 5-10 game weeks, De Bruyne over Sterling is absolutely fine. But if you... Let's see if we can get this back up. Oh, we can. Oh, we can. Right. Sorry. Let me just pull that up on my other screen and get mine up here for you. Thank you for all the new subscribers just now as well. So that's what my team looked like before I played my free hit, and we'll have a look what it looks like going forward as well. Sorry, I need to just get that team ID. Cool. Sterling and Sancho or Bruno and Foden? Sterling and Sancho or Bruno? I'd go Sterling and Sancho, I think. I'd rather downgrade Sterling to Sancho than I would... Sorry, Sterling to... I'd rather downgrade Bruno to Sancho than downgrade Sterling to Foden. I think. Which is the way that I would look at it. Do I prefer Roberts or me? It's the Burnley centre-backs for me, pun intended, because... because of the amount of chances that both Crystal Palace and Leicester are conceding from set pieces and from headed chances, that it makes me want to have the Burnley centre-backs in there. If you can't afford them and you want to go Roberts, then fine, but I'd find the money to go for the centre-backs. Why is no one talking about KDB on free hit? Just because, as I said, like the explosive nature of some of those Southampton guys is, some of those City mids is great. De Bruyne is good over a long period of time, but if you're trying to isolate a specific game week, then Sterling has a higher chance of like scoring a hat-trick, for example. So that's why I've gone. That's why I think a lot of us are going there. And to be fair, and I think when the template came, we didn't know that we didn't know that Grealish and Jesus were going to be back. I wonder if a few people might start. We might start seeing De Bruyne creep in. I'm confident enough that they're going to start. My worry is how many what is possible for Pope to do that's going to really hurt my rank. The ownership of a Burnley defender is probably going to be over 1 this week. Still will gain from clean sheets, but Pope will be highly owned, I think. Given that some of the popular goalkeepers blank, like Ramsdale. Semedo replacement, Rohan is asking. I still like a Wolves defender. I think going to one of the others, like if you go to Aït-Nouri, is not a bad pick at all. But it depends if you need them this week. A Burnley defender this week, but long term, still a Wolves option. Laporte to Johnny and Ida to Tony playing on using transfers to Gameweek 30. I don't like Johnny. I don't think he's going to play every single game. He's just come back from pretty long-term injuries. So Brozier or Wood? I'd go Brozier if you're on a free hit this week. Or even, Brozier is the answer to that question for me. Better long-term, cheaper, So yeah. Are we overlooking Bowen? I do worry about this. I do worry about this. Sorry, one sec. Brozier has no chance to get an assist. He's pure goal poacher. Well, that's not a problem at all. Like, if he's going to score me goals, I'd rather he gets goals than assists. So, I'd rather it would be goal Brozier, assist Che Adams than the other way around. Start 2 from Brozier, Ward-Prowse, Dalot, Shaw. I'd bench the United defender before I benched any of those Southampton options, I think. Is it worth taking a -8? I mean, if you're bringing in players who are going to play for players who are not going to play, then yeah, I don't know what the transfers are to Zala, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're like long term, but if you're adding players to your starting lineup, then probably. Start Brozier or Ward-Prowse on a free hit. I'd probably, if I could own either, I'd probably own Ward-Prowse, but it's a money thing for me, right? I can't make that decision. I am back in that double defense though. It's what I do in goal. Let's have a look at let me get some predicted points up, and then we'll have a look at maybe what we should be doing. Because I think you guys, last time I got predicted points up on screen, you were all big fans of it. So let's get it up. Come on. Nothing is loading on here right now. Or maybe I've got to click. Had to click accept cookies at the bottom. Right. Ooh, they are a bit squished. Sorry. I don't quite know what's going on there. But anyway. I think it's because I've squished my screen. It doesn't like it. Maguire or Shaw on a free hit? Maguire or Shaw? I'd go Maguire because he's just more nailed to start. There's a good chance Tellez starts. So, game week... Oh, hang on a minute. I need to log in. Right. Hi guys, how are we doing? Thank you all for joining. Thoughts on Wildcard 27 and Bench Boost 28? I don't think... I've seen a few people wildcarding this week, and I don't think I like it enough to do it. I'd rather just wildcard next week. I don't... You can get away with it, but it's like what you do with Liverpool and Arsenal. You then have to buy all these players back with your free transfers, which I'm not a big fan of. Let's just... Doesn't seem to be working. Fine. Let's get Fantasy Football Fix up then. Cool. This I know will work. I don't know. Come on. What's happening today? Predicted points and stats. Fine. Finally here. Start Maguire or Walker-Peters. If I could afford Maguire, I probably would. Do I think Laporte is benched? I think he'll probably play, but it's a pretty close call. I think it's a pretty close call this week. So, goalkeeper points. Pope, followed by De Gea, followed by Forster, Fabianski, Edison, Sanchez, Lloris, Sarr. Okay. And then, defenders... Me, Tarkowski at the top. It's just those Burnley save points, right? But it's backing a... The thing with this as well, where is my team? What is going on? Honestly, I'm so lost today. Sorry, guys. It's been a pretty hectic day. No, I want my team. Oh, honestly, all the sites don't like when you squish your screen to try and make it fit on screen. Right. So if I did Livramento out and I did... is Burnley midfield a good option? I don't think so, because the only one I'd really want to go with is Cornet, and I don't necessarily think I'm confident he plays both games. If you have Cornet, I would keep him. So a few of you asking, should you keep Cornet? I would keep him. because I think there's a chance he plays one and comes on as a sub in the other, or starts two. But I wouldn't be buying him then. Any Manchester United defender, Maguire, probably just because he's the most nailed. I see Dalot going around, but Wan-Bissaka could easily play. I think it will be Dalot, but I think Maguire is the most nailed. So, do I have... no, fine. So, Livramento to Ben Mee, for example. I could do Pope to Forster. And it actually would let me go, like, I could get a better backup. So, like, Dubravka could sit on my bench at 4-4. And then I could do, like, I could do this, for example. I think this is what I'm favouring. I just like the double centre-back options. There's a lot of upside in there, but it's the save points that Pope brings that worries me. So, like, Pope saves. He's not been making loads, to be fair. Like, he's probably going to get maybe 3 save points in a double. It depends how he does for bonus as well. If they keep a clean sheet, he tends to get bonus, doesn't he? But so that's my conundrum, is what to do in the defence. Let me zoom in again. Pope better. Yeah, maybe he is. Maybe I should go Pope, but how about KDB and Mahrez but downgrade Bruno to Sancho? I mean, Bruno to Sancho is fine. Like, you could easily get on the wrong end of that decision, and it's Sancho that does well this week. I think Bruno's probably safer. Sancho's probably more explosive. Like, Sancho could easily get, I think, a couple of goals, but I think that's a 50-50 call. As much as the De Bruyne one is. As much as the De Bruyne. What are these guys saying for predicted points of midfielders this week? Fernandes is top. Then you got a few Burnley players. Sancho, De Bruyne. It's because it affects the minutes. Because Sterling's predicted minutes is lower. It lowers his predicted points. Defender. Me, Tarkowski. So what's the Walker Peters predicted points? So let's start with cool. Would I do a -4 for Sterling? But that would mean having to wildcard next week to bring back Salah. I think people wildcarding next week is a very doable strategy. I wouldn't worry too much about it if you're doing it next week. But if it's that one decision, like who are you playing over Sterling? Because I don't think that one transfer is enough to tip me over. So I'd probably save my wildcard in that situation. Thoughts on Varane over Maguire? I mean, it's half a dozen, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So it's very difficult to call. Would I do the centre-backs and Foster over Maguire, me and Pope? Maguire. Yeah, I probably would if it allowed me to do Bruno over Sancho. I probably would, yeah. Sterling or Son? Probably Son because of the slight risk of minutes for Sterling. I'd probably just go Son. I'd probably go Son out of the two. Right. Son, Kane, or KDB captain? I'd probably go Son. That high line that leads... I think there's goals in there for Spurs this weekend. You're worried about Pep Roulette? Me too. Only 10 players. Use my last free hit or take a -8. Still have bench boost. If you still have wildcard, then... As it says here, I'd play your free hit then. I think there's enough upside potential on the free hit. You get away with not using a free hit, but take a -4. Do I think that's wise? Yeah, also Odegaard and Gabriel for Dalot and Ward-Prowse for that -4. Yeah, I would probably do them, but the issue is you're going to have to bring back in those Arsenal guys for their double, but I haven't confirmed Forster in. I'm a bit undecided about what to do in goal because I want the double Burnley defence, but it's just what to do. What we do with whether I want Pope and me or Livramento and Forster. You can, once you've activated your free hit, you can continue to make as many changes as you want until the deadline. I'm not sure is my free hit actually active? I don't think I've activated it yet. Could you imagine? I don't think it's actually active. Hang on. Let me activate it because I don't want that issue going close to the deadline where the game crashes on me. Why does it do this to me where it goes off every time? So, who have I not got value tied up in? Livramento. Livramento did not rise. So, Livramento, I don't know. Let me go and just bring in anyone so I can activate my free hit. Because we don't want one of those situations. Will Livramento start? He's predicted to. There is a slight bit of doubt, which is what's putting me off it a little bit, but confirm transfer and play free hit. Free hit active. Cool. At least we're not going to have that issue really close to the deadline. What time am I coming off stream? I'll be on until the deadline, guys, so stick around. Again, I've got no value tied in like Pope, do I know? Cool. So if I did, again, Forster in here. Who's my captain going to be? My captain is going to be Veghorst this week. I always tack a double game week player, so he will be my captain. Use my free hit when you have 9 playing players. If you have either your second free hit or your wild card left, then I think it's worth playing a free hit this week. How did you make all those transfers before if your free hit wasn't active? Because I just took like a minus 20, but it will get cancelled out by the free hit. So that is fine. Let me put Ben Mee in there. Cool. Make transfers. I'm worrying that I'm going to do something wrong here and I'm going to take points hits, but I know I'm not. Should you free hit? Again, depending on how many players you've got out and stuff, I think it's a good week to free hit. I think there's good upside on it. Well, I'm hoping there is anyway. Cool. Free hit defenders, Livramento, Cancelo and me. Thoughts? Yeah, I quite like it. The Burnley option is 50, half of one, 6 of the... half a dozen of one, 6 of the other, whatever the saying is. I've gone double Burnley defence at the moment, but I may end up going back for Pope. Sancho and Cancelo or Bruno and Diaz. As in Liverpool Diaz. Oh, as in Man City Diaz. I'd go Sancho and Cancelo. Jaden, it gets restored. If we get early team news that Livra starts, will I get him? That's quite a tough question. I probably would just for security a little bit, but I like the me Tarkowski double up. Let me end that poll. See what the results were. DCL to Broja and Johnson to me. Yeah, both very good transfers. No-brainer transfers, those ones. We are, again, 26 subscribers away from 16k. A big landmark for me, and I'm sure there's 26 of you in here who are not subscribed. I'm sure there's plenty more. But if you guys could subscribe, because I know you'll be in here, and help hit that target. And if you haven't liked the stream as well, and you are enjoying it, I'll get to as many questions as I can now. We'll go and do a deep 10 minutes of question answering. But if you could like the stream before we do that, that would be great. But yeah, if you're not subscribed, let's try and hit that target before the deadline. Ward-Prowse or second city midfielder? I'd go second city midfielder. Your attackers are Watkins, Jimenez and Edouard. Do you wildcard? I'd potentially wildcard next week. You could do like Watkins to, I don't know, Brozier this week, wildcard next week. Aryan, welcome. Elanga or Lookman. To be fair, how much is Lookman? That's not something I've thought about doing yet, to be fair. But I think he's slightly more. Xanic, thank you. Aryan, Gary, thank you guys for subscribing. How much is Lookman? Oh, he's way more expensive. Oh, Elanga's really cheap. That's why he's on my bench. David Toff, how are we doing? Son or Kane, captain. Thank you for your super chat. Welcome to the stream. I would do... Let's look at the predicted points for you. My hunch would say Son if I had to pick between them. All players. Son is predicted to get 5.5. Kane is predicted 5.3. It's pretty close, but I would probably just about favour Son as well out of the two. Is Ronaldo playing? Well, Cavani is out injured, so it's kind of looks like he's going to have to, unless they go with like Rashford up front, which I don't see happening, honestly. I don't see it happening, personally. Coutinho, a good differential on free hit. Again, there's enough other good options with enough other good fixtures to target for me that means I wouldn't go for Coutinho. Jason, thank you for subscribing. Walker Peters or Livramento. If you can afford Walker Peters, I would probably go there. Relic, welcome. I'd probably go Walker Peters if you could afford it. Newcastle defender, probably not. If Trippier was here, then maybe, because he is the attacking threat, but there's not the attacking threat from the other ones. What do I think about Bernardo Silva? Not a good enough pick at all. There's much better options I'd be going with now that are more reliable for your points. Brozier or Ward-Prowse in the starting 11? Probably Ward-Prowse. If I could afford both, I would go for Ward-Prowse over Brozier. Would I pick up Rafinha or Ward-Prowse? Ward-Prowse this week because of his fixture is much better this week. Oh, sorry. Is it really zoomed in? There you go. Sorry. Thank you for flagging. That's really zoomed in. Do I think Sterling or Mahrez both start? Yes, that's why they're both in my free hit team. Who's more likely to start in Man City midfield? I think Sterling, Mahrez will both start. I think De Bruyne will start. And I think apart from that, it's quite difficult to call because Bernardo Silva has played a lot of minutes recently. I have 2 free hit with 10 playing players this game week. Should I free hit? I probably would. I don't know who the 10 are. But if it's far enough away from this that you think you can gain 20 points, then I would. Edison or Sanchez. I don't love Edison. He's not a good use of a Manchester City spot at all. Not a good use. Yeah. If you've got no other room for your Man City player apart from a goalkeeper, then I think he's fine, but it's just not worth it. It doesn't make saves at all. Ramsey or Ward-Prowse for permanent transfer. Probably Ward-Prowse. Their fixtures going forward are good. I'd go Ward-Prowse. Nice team. Any money in the bank? I don't know. I think I've got a tiny little bit. Let me go transfers on this one. 0.6. So I can upgrade like Tsimikas and Foster if I decide to. But I'm deciding on if I want Forster in goal or I want to go Pope in goal. Robert and me. Not bad. I like the centre-back options more than I like the full-back options just because of the amount of chances that like Crystal Palace and Leicester are conceding from set pieces. I think I'm going to go with the double defence. Yeah, I think I'm going to upgrade Simicast. But again, I'm not going to do it until I decide on what I want to do in goal. Because I don't want to be scrambling around to make like 5 transfers right at the end. If I can just leave it to the end, and I know I'll have to do 2 transfers, whether it's the goalkeeper combination or whether it's the subs that I've got. Mohammed, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. We're getting close. We're not there yet, but we're getting close. Who to start, Ramsey or Davies? I'd probably go Ramsey this week. Will Livramento start? So I know a lot of you have been asking this, and it's in the chat a lot. I personally, if I had to guess, would say yes, but I don't know. I don't have the team, but I think he probably will. Joseph, thank you very much for joining as a member to the channel. As a tier 1 basic, you will get your name highlighted in chat, and you will get every single one of your questions answered in the chat as well. So such a perk of being a base tier member of $1.99 a month that I'll always answer every single question that you ask in the chat. Should I do an extra transfer this week and bring in Coutinho for Elise from -4? You've already done the Edouard. Majed, welcome. Hope your flight was fine. I would probably do this extra transfer this week. If we look at predicted points again, let's have a look. Because it'll be a -4 for you next week anyway. Coutinho is predicted 3.1 this week, and then next week Elise is predicted less. So I would probably do it this week. Bring it forward a week. I did it with Sarr, it didn't pay off, but I'd probably do it. Joseph, welcome. Thank you for joining the channel. Best defender for 4.6. Again, it depends how much money you have, but I like Livramento, Walker-Peters, Bednarak. Cancelo or Son for captain this week? I'd go Son personally. I'd go Son. I always back the attacker. Always going to back the attacker. Roberts and Walker-Peters or me and Livramento? Probably me and Livramento. Because I just want that Burnley centre-back. At least one of them in my team. How would I rank the Man City mids? Considering you are currently considering triple City midfield and United defender. So the Man City mids is a good question. I would probably rank them Mahrez first, Sterling second, De Bruyne third, Foden fourth, Gundogan fifth, Bernardo Silva sixth. Can't afford Sterling. Any other midfield picks for cheaper? Yeah, good. I can go Foden. I don't think he's a bad pick. I think he'll probably start, but is Pope out? No, Pope will play. But there's a lot of data which points at good opportunity for Burnley centre-backs to pick up goals this weekend. So that's why I've gone with the double Burnley centre-backs and Weghorst. Because if there's a goal from a corner, surely it's going to come from one of those 3. Surely. Swap Bowen to Foden or keep Bowen. It depends if you're on a free hit. If you're on a free hit, then I'd probably go Foden. But if I wasn't on a free hit, I'd probably keep Bowen. Foden or Sancho with Mahrez and Bruno in your team. I think Bruno is enough. I'd probably go Foden. But if you can afford Sancho or Foden, let me have a look at the predicted points for you again. Because I find these so hard to call. Who was it? Sancho. Let's just look at general midfield predicted points. Fernandes, who have we got? Foden is up at 5. Sancho is 5.8. So Sancho, if you've got the money, go Sancho. Nuclear's asking for any differential options. Again, let's have a look. The midfield, I think it's very difficult to go. I think Sancho will still be a differential. I like Ward-Prowse as a bit of a differential. In defence, there's Cresswell's not a bad option, but he's playing a Wolves side that are often pretty difficult to break down. Let's have a look at defenders. Of course, you're going to get the Burnley guys. Bednarak, probably not that highly owned. He's got a little bit of goal threat as well. 4.4. Ooh. Do I prefer that over Livramento's risk? I didn't realise he was so cheap. I thought he was more. Do I prefer Bednarak over Livramento? Interesting. Will allow me to get Pope as well. Can we trust Veghorst? You're getting flashbacks of King Dennis. Yeah, I mean, you're not the first one to put something like that in the chat. I still think we can back them. I'm still captaining him. I think, he doesn't look like he's got a hot streak of getting a red card. Dennis got bookings, right? But yeah, is Pope out? No, Pope's fine. Again, I like the option of a double Burnley centre-back combination because of the amount of chances that are being conceded by Crystal Palace and Leicester from a set piece point of view, from a headed chance point of view. So what about Leicester and Maddison on a free hit? Just with their form, I know they won comfortably, but Burnley are so difficult to break down. Recently that I'm not thinking they're going to be explosive enough. And there are so many other good options with good fixtures this week that, yeah. So that's, yeah, I don't, Madison's not a bad pick, but I don't think he's up there for me. Good to hear replacements for future game weeks for those who have an Arsenal defender. Sarr, I still like. Would probably be my number one. If you're not going Arsenal, of course, they don't play this week. Sarr would probably be top there. Do you think Forster will play? Forster? Yes, but I can, if I'm going to go Forster, I have enough money and I'll get a backup. I'll get Dubravka on my bench or something. So, my overall points. Good question. 1756, currently just outside the top 10k. Would I get anyone from Sunday fixture? So no, I currently have no one in that fixture, which is a bit of, well, not a concern, but that game is going to give me a big red arrow, and we know it is, isn't it? So we are. Let me have a look. We are 8 subscribers away. I know there are 8 of you watching. I know you're in there. You can't afford all the players you have in that team because my squad value is quite high because I made sort of early transfers and got on players that have risen in price. Again, Fernandes down to Sancho, Sterling down to Foden would probably be the obvious places I would go if I needed to free up a bit of money. Our Brighton defence nailed on? Cucurella is, but apart from that, Dunk, Webster, yeah, they are. Those 3 probably are when fit. Will Foden start? I can't confirm and I do not know, but I would say I'm about 70% on yes to that. Would I start Dennis or Bernardo? Thanks. I'd probably go Bernardo if I had to pick between the two of those. I'd probably go Bernardo. Sterling down to Foden or Mahrez down to Foden. I just want Mahrez this week. I might come back to bite me, but I just want Mahrez this week. Why don't you get Sarr as a contingency plan for Sunday? Because he's away at West Ham, I don't back that as a fixture. If I'm on a free hit, I just don't. Yeah, I'm not going in on Wolves away at West Ham, personally. I think there were better fixtures than Wolves this week. I know they looked good last night, but they did concede twice. So, Broja or Ward-Prowse, you have more expected points. Happy to do expected points comparisons. Sorry, that's defenders. Broja is 4.6 this week, and Ward-Prowse is 5.4. So if you can afford to go Ward-Prowse, then he's probably the better of the two, but it's a money thing. Again, I can't afford it. There is part of me, and you're going to call me crazy. That wants to go in Buemo as a punt and drop Broja. Part of me wants to do that, but I don't think I'll do it. I don't think I'll end up doing it. But if he does well, then at least I said it and I can use the clip. There's part of me that wants to do that, but me or Tarkowski higher predicted points or the same. I imagine Tarkowski's got like 0.1 higher. Actually, I don't. I wonder if it takes into account. Yeah, me slightly higher because Tarkowski missed one of the last 2 games because he had COVID, so it puts me higher up. Pope or Tarkowski on a free hit. Again, Ches, it's a decision that I'm having to make. At the moment, I'm favouring Tarkowski, but again, it's pretty close. Just get Tony then, but it's the money thing, right? And Mbuemo's 5-2, which I think would be a pretty nice, cheap enabler. Whereas, you've got Brozier up at over 5. It would just, 5-5, I think. It would be an easy way to save money. But then, in order to get a playing first sub, it's pretty close. I think the Southampton ownership is going to be a lot. So I think I'll end up going Brozier. Well, I will. I'm not going to change it, I don't think. But what's the website for predicted points called? It's called Fantasy Football Fix. It's also available on Fantasy Football Hub as well. Ooh, select the pictures that include stairs. These 3. I am not a robot. This is Fantasy Football Fix, but it's part of a premium. You have to sign up and pay. Same with Fantasy Football Hub, which doesn't seem to want to let me in right now. I'm not sure midfielder-wise who's predicted the most. Mahrez is down here, 5.3. Take out Watkins or King for Brozier. Take out Watkins or King for Brozier. Probably King, because we're not sure how long he's going to be out for. I'll probably do King. Right, let me slow things down a little bit now. Cool. Which players I think will be in the 3 p.m. kickoff? Coutinho will do well in 3 p.m.s. Coutinho I like. I like Mbuemo, a bit of a differential, but who to start? Bednarek or Livramento? Let's get another site up, which actually allows you to... Let me get FPL review up. Cool. Again, another site which is good for these sort of... Should you put Pope in net? I quite like him as prediction models, free model. I like Pope as a goalkeeper. Yeah, I would happily have him as my goalkeeper. If I'm not going to have, double... If I'm not going to have double Burnley defence, he'll be my goalkeeper. There's no doubt about that. Cool. Let me just load that in. Fernandes and Foden or Sancho and Sterling? Sancho and Sterling. For me, personally. You're torn on 2 Burnley defence now versus 1 and Pope. It's so close. Let me have a look what FPL review is predicting as the combination of Foster and me versus Pope and Livramento. Let me see what it's saying. You're sticking to the hair this week and then going Saar next week. You're missing Pope by 0.1. I think that's fine. They are playing 2 teams who you would probably expect to have chances in those games. Leicester and Palace have been scoring goals recently. So I think on a free hit, great. And then long term, you don't necessarily want Pope. So what's my opinions on going for Tark and me with David De Gea in goal? I don't know what's happened here. It's frozen on 70%. There we go. I don't mind De Gea in goal. Oh, I've got to put this in again. All the sites are running so slow today. Kane versus Ronaldo. Kane against that Leeds team. Conceding chances for sure, and the form they've both shown in recent weeks. Cool. Right. Let's have a look at game week 27 predicted points in terms of filtered by cost. Let's go 5-5. Pope predicted 6.97. Me predicted 6.41. Let me get Southampton up. Welcome to the new subscribers. Is it worth taking a -4 to replace Salah for Son this week? It depends how easily it is for you to get him back in next week. If you can get him in, or you're going to wildcard next week, it's not worth it if you're going to go straight back, I don't think. Because Son would have to score 8 points this week for that to be worth it. Let's say I put Livramento as a... Livramento is predicted to outscore Forster as well as Pope predicted to outscore me. 4.52. Does that give him the highest, more than any other defender? Like, where's Bednarak, for example? 4.21. This is very favouring Livramento. Oh, I think I went a bit far. Cool. So, don't want a free hit? Are you bonkers? I think a little bit, but yeah, I think there's enough upside. If you've got 2 free hits left and you've got like anything but a perfect 11, I probably would play it this week. Do I think I should replace Laporte? You have 11 players. You're not free hitting, so I wouldn't do Laporte because of bench risk. If it's for a hit, no. If it's for free, yes, I would. Only if it's for free. Che Adams worth the extra money over Broja. Ooh, my chair. Probably. I mean, if you had the money in the bank, sat around and it was going to be sat in your bank, then yeah, I would do it. But if you were going to invest that money elsewhere, then I wouldn't. Except for Pope, which goalkeeper will get the most saves? If we look at goalkeepers, Pope, De Gea is predicted second. Pope is predicted second. Apparently I've hit... Wait, thank you all. As Torvald just said, we've hit 16k. Thank you all. Anyone else who's not, let's reinforce that. But I appreciate you all watching, and I hope your game weeks go very well. But of course, we've still got an hour to the deadline. But yeah, cool. If I was to captain Son, would that make it worth it, making a -4? Probably yes. I don't know who else you'd captain, but if you were going to captain Son, then maybe it makes it more worthwhile. Start Livramento or Maguire. I think I've got a... Where is Maguire? Hang on a minute. Can we get a Sue? Do I think Sancho is a rotation risk this week with a fixture congestion? A little bit, which is why I want Fernandes if I can afford it. But I think he should play. I wonder if it's Rashford that misses out, but hence why I've got Elanga on the bench. Connor Roberts is a fine pick. These sites today, honestly. Let's just go back to this. Change. Oh, was I not looking at top defenders fine. Maguire predicted. Thank you. Yeah, Joseph. Appreciate it. Maguire 3.55. There's plenty above him actually. Yeah. Sorry, got distracted. Bowen or Maddison? Between the two of them this week, I'd still probably go Bowen. Home fixture for West Ham, he's on great form. Maddison, yes, Leicester have looked better, but they're still playing away against a Burnley team who are very difficult to break down. Do I think Dalot will start? Yes, he's in my prediction to start, yeah, but only a prediction, but I think he will. Fernandes to Son or roll transfer. For anyone who's unaware, I've got a predicted lineup thread which is pinned to my profile, and if you want to go and have a look and check whether I think people will start or not, it's always there but just before the deadline. Always there just before the deadline. Your only differential are James Ward-Prowse and Sarr. Can't break the template. I don't necessarily think there's any reason to break the template. It's a very strong template who are top for predicted points this week. Livramento or Davies? I'd go Livramento if I had both. Leeds are definitely a team we'll want to attack, and we know what they're capable of doing. David De Gea or Forster in goal? I'd go, if you can afford David De Gea, I would go for it, but if you can't afford it, Forster, it's about £1 million difference, so you wanted to use free transfers to replace Laporte to Cody or Kilman to prepare for the Wolves double game week. You wanted to use free transfers to replace Laporte to Cody or Kilman. If you use a free transfer, I'd probably roll that transfer then and just chance it, because I think the high chance of Laporte keep playing and keeping a clean sheet than you getting one from your Wolves guys. So I probably wouldn't make that transfer. Your midfielders De Bruyne, Foden, Bowen and Maddison on a free hit. That's quite differential. You got no Son in there, who I would definitely want in there. But you could happy to have one differential, but I'd want Son somewhere in there over Bowen or Maddison. Captain Kane, Jimenez or Son? Definitely not Jimenez, and Son has a slightly higher predicted points this week. Let me check what review is saying. Son is just above Kane on most of the predictions. Nick Pope or Weghorst for captaincy? For me, it's if you've got double Burnley defence, then it's definitely Weghorst. It's still probably Weghorst either way for me. Is a Southampton defender a good option? They're playing a Norwich side who've looked better in recent weeks. I like it, and they're the best cheap defence to go for, but I don't love it. But it's like if you need to find budget, I think Southampton is a great place to do it. I'm not that confident of a clean sheet. If I could afford to go elsewhere, I maybe would, but at the moment I don't really have that money. Am I bench boosting? No, so I'm on a free hit this week. Free hit this week. Free hit active this week. Just wanted to check that it was active. Do I think Laporte will start? It's so close. I'd probably go yes, but it is so close. Dennis, thank you for the super chat. Your mid is De Bruyne, Foden, Bowen, Maddison. I did actually ask it, but thank you very much for your super chat. I would, again, want Son in there. Son is probably one of the key priorities, and then having no United in there again would worry me. Because I think they'll be very highly owned this week, and I think they're good options, but I can't put you off. I don't back Maddison. That's the one that I don't like in there. But you've put Walker in, as I couldn't fund Cancelo. What I reckon, Cancelo is the better of the two by far. And I would probably say there's probably elsewhere in your team that I'd rather downgrade, because Cancelo looks so good from open play the past few weeks. But I'd try and find a way to get him in. But if there's no way, then I think he's fine. Would I go KDB and Ward-Prowse or Sterling and Fernandez? Sterling and Fernandez, for sure. Yeah. Dennis or Edouard out for Broja? Probably Edouard. Who to replace Semedo with? Again, if you're not on a free hit this week, then a Burnley defender, or if you want to go for a Wolves defender, would probably be the two that I'd look at. De Bruyne or Sterling? Sterling's the one in my team, so has to be the one that I recommend when someone asks. Cool. Do bench points count on free hit? Sadly not. Well, actually not sadly not, because that would be an interesting, if we gave one free hit where your bench counted and one free hit where they didn't, that would be interesting. But no, it doesn't. Still haven't, let me fiddle around with my team again for a minute. Cool. So, predicted points. What have we got on this side as well? Ben Mee is 6.3. And Forster is 4.6. 6.3 plus 4.6 is 10.9. Quick maths. That's what you're here for. Pope is 7.6. And Livramento. So slightly favours the... What's like Bednarak here as well. Slightly more realistic because the other one, this weights down Livramento's minutes quite heavily. Is favouring Pope. It's so close. I don't know what to do. Such a 50-50. Such a 50-50. This is called Fantasy Football Fix, and this is called FPL Review. FPL Review, you can get predicted points for free. Fix, I think you have to pay for it. I think it's a premium option. Should you get Son for KDB this game week? I wouldn't sell him if it's a free transfer. If you're on a free hit, then I'd still back Son. He's probably the number one mid that I'd want this week. Maybe Mahrez, but if you're on a transfer, then no, I wouldn't make that transfer. Pope safer for save points, but more upside with the centre backs. I suppose that's the question, Joseph. And I really wish I really enjoyed some of your comments, so I wish you'd signed up as a tier 2 one so I could add you to the group chat, because But yeah, it's probably safer. Pope is safer, right? And what do I want? What do I want from this week? I've got enough explosion outside of those that maybe I just go for it. But how sure are you that Sterling is starting? I mean, I'm guessing, but I'm hoping he starts. I'm guessing, but I'm hoping he starts. Why captain Veghorst when Burnley don't score much? Because he has a double game week. And I've got double Burnley defence. I don't like... If I go captain on a Burnley defender, then again, there's a big risk involved there. Because in theory, I then have double Burnley defence with one of them being my captain. Is too much for me. It's too much for me. Is Roberts from Burnley a good pick? He's fine. Again, the oppositions that they're playing concede a lot from header chances and set pieces. So I think the centre-backs are better than him. If you don't have the money, I think Roberts is fine. Yeah, I think he's fine. The centre-backs are better options. Do I do what you're doing and foster me and Roberts, or Pope, Peters and Livramento? Not having any centre-backs would worry me a little bit, but I'd probably go Foster, me, Roberts, probably. Your team is Foster, Tarkowski, me, Mahrez, Son, Prowse, Sancho, Sterling, Kane and Veghorst captain. What do I think? I think you've got everyone covered in there. You've got Ward-Prowse starting, which is fine. You've got him over going for Broja because you've got Sancho over Fernandez. I think those are the only two differences. The team looks nice. I'm going with you. I think the Burnley concede 1 and 2, but I think defenders could score in both. I just need, like... Got to enter my traffic lights now. Oh, we're in. We're in. I think. Or not. I thought I was there, but we then got an error. Oh well. Let me get my team back up. Cool. Brozier and Foster and bring in Burnett, 2 defenders instead of Pope. Thoughts. So Josh, that's what my team looks like currently, and I've gone for it. I have not decided on whether I'm actually going to go through with it or not, and whether Pope will come back in and I go for a Southampton defender. I'm not sure. It's your first season. 70k currently aiming for top 10k, so I'll probably go with the upside of me and Tarkowski. Yeah, if you're chasing, then maybe that's fine. But the thing is, I'm not chasing. I'm happy with where I am at the moment. I just want a green arrow this week. Now, yeah, it's so close. It's such a close call. Part of me really wants to do this, but I think it's going to go to the wire. Start Ward-Prowse or Brozier. Start Ward-Prowse or Brozier. I would go... Start Ward-Prowse or Brozier. If I had both, I'd go Ward-Prowse. It's a money thing for a lot of us. That means you go Brozier over Ward-Prowse. But if I had a choice of both, I'd probably go Ward-Prowse. You can't see my whole face. Dennis or Ryan, 8 Nori. Who to bench? I'd probably bench 8 Nori. You'd say King out for Jimenez or Wood on a free. I wouldn't go for Chris Wood. I'd go Jimenez personally. So I'm trying to manage other people's teams as well. Me or Tarkowski, flip a coin. It's literally that. If I had to pick one, I'd go Tarkowski, but I really think I'm gonna go both. Like, what's gonna ruin me? Is there enough upside here? These teams that they're playing against concede chances. I'm trying to get this to work because I want to look at like the shots that Palace take. Here we go. I've literally logged in. Come on. I just don't think it's going to work. It's not going to work for us. I'm just trying to look at like shots taken. I don't know if I can do it on like FB ref or whatever it is. Anyone know a good site that I can go with free that will show me shots and stuff in the Premier League? Does FB ref do it? Here we go. I don't know. I've never used this before. Shots total. Shots on target. Here we go. Arsenal, where do Leicester and Palace rank here? In the middle of the table. Which would probably mean it doesn't favour Burnley that much. I don't even know how I'm going to check header chances conceded. On here. Let's go with me, Tarkowski, Foster. My only concern is how highly owned is how highly owned is Pope going to be this week? Is my only worry. Sancho or Cancelo is out for captaincy. For captaincy, it's Cancelo for me out of the two. Sorry. I'm going to be with you all 1 sec. I'm just trying to help someone else with their team. Can't afford Fernandes unless downgrading Alanga to Gordon of Everton. If he's on your bench, the starting player is more important, right? So I almost dropped my phone on the floor. Right, better to bench boost 36 or 28, 29. Depends if Arsenal get a double in 28, which it doesn't look like they're going to. I'm still planning on a 36 one at the moment, but I'll have to wait and see what my team looks like next week, which we can do later. But Elvin's welcome. Sanchez or Sarr to start. If you've already got Lamptey, then I'd go Sarr. Don't overthink it. If Pope gets points, defenders get points. Think more chances defenders scoring than clean sheets. You're 5k and going with what I have here. Yeah, it's just... Yeah. Again, it's just the amount of like saves that he has the potential of making. Let's see if we've got stats on here. Fixed stats. Up to stats sandbox. Let's have a look on here. Here we go. I've never used it on here before, but I show... How do I... Toggle player and team level stats. Here we go. Right. We're finally getting somewhere. Livramento and or Alanga as first sub. Probably Livramento. Right. Shots on target. Here we go. Leicester. Can I do this per game? Here we go. Now we're moving. Leicester here. 4.6. So that would be 1 save point. And Palace, again, probably 1 save point. Would I play Ward-Prowse or Broja? If you've got enough money, I think Ward-Prowse is a better option than Broja. But for me and for a lot of people, it's a budget thing. Semedo to me for a -4. Semedo to Ben Mee for a -4. Yes. Yeah, I probably would. If it's adding another player to be put out this week, I would. Because it doesn't look like Semedo's going to be back anytime soon. Right. What now do I want? Defending. Shots conceded. Set pieces. No, but this is... I want shots conceded from set pieces. Don't know if they've got it. Blocks. No. Shots conceded. Burnley are up there. Leicester are up there. Crystal Palace are not, but they concede from... Opinion on Foster, me, Roberts, and Cancelo, Mahrez. I'm getting so distracted. Opinion on Foster, me, Roberts, and Cancelo, Mahrez, Sanchez, Sterling, and Son. Is that a free hit team? Because that looks really nice. Sorry, it's just your placing of and threw me off in lots of that sentence. But yeah, your free hit team looks good. This is my team at the moment. Just trying to toy up on the Tarkowski, me option, or if I want Pope in goal. Pope and Maguire or Tarkowski and De Gea. Probably Tarkowski, De Gea if you're going with what I've done, but I may change my answer to that question come the end of the stream. Will Peter start? Probably, but will he play both? Those fullbacks are harder to predict. I'd go Roberts if I could afford it, but those fullbacks generally are harder to predict. For anyone watching that isn't subscribed, if you subscribed, you can start using the chat as well. Start asking your questions. So please do subscribe if you are watching just passively, like AT has just done. Welcome. And AT has asked Gallagher, ? Again, they're playing against a Burnley team who have looked much better defensively in the recent game week. So yeah, I don't love Palace from an attacking point of view this week because Burnley have looked really good past couple of weeks. Knowing that, when I bring in two of their defenders, they'll concede in both games. But I think I'm going to go with something that looks like this, which would mean, what do I do with the rest of my team? The question here is, can I go Ward-Prowse over Broja? Now, if I save the money, I've got 0.6 in the bank. I probably can. How much is he? 6.5. Maybe not, actually. Leaves me 1.1. I'm actually 0.1 off it. I could downgrade Foster if I needed to, but like getting Geldhart or someone in here. Richard. The worst thing about this as well is the cheapest forward, the only 4.4 forward we have in the game now, is a Burnley player. And I can't get him in because I've already got 3 Burnley in my team. Is Dennis Broja worth a -4? That's really tough. I probably would do it because it's better next week as well. How is my squad value so high? I know it is quite high. I don't know quite why. I think recent weeks it's got higher. It didn't start off particularly well this season, but Kane, Broja and Foden in for a -8. Again, I don't know who's leaving your team, but I like those players coming in. My chair. Should I go for Bruno and Sancho or Mahrez and Bruno? I'd go Mahrez before I went Sancho personally. I really like Mahrez. Mandem, how are we doing? Good evening, Harry. Welcome. As always, if people say hello and pay me nice compliments, better chance of getting your questions answered. What was the question? Would I go Maguire or Livramento? I'd probably go Maguire if I could afford him, but I can't. How would I build a squad with 1.5 less? I think I'd just do the same and do Sancho in for Fernandez personally. What's the thoughts behind double Burnley defense and no Pope? If I could get the stats up to show you, I really wish I could, but luckily it masks the password, but I can't seem to get it up. It doesn't seem to want to let me log in. But effectively, they concede a lot of chances from set pieces and headed chances, the two teams that Burnley are playing this week. So I'm trying to tap into that. Yes, maybe Tarkowski, Weghorst is enough, but there's a good chance that it's Ben Mee. Like, if I go... player stats... Burnley, set pieces, goal threat. Ben Mee has a better goal to game ratio than Tarkowski does, although I think his XG is lower. The XG is pretty similar, to be fair. Total shots. Let me just take away the attackers because I'm not comparing like for like. I don't know if you can even see this. Shots, Mee ranks first, actually, to be fair. The goal threat is really small, though, isn't it? Like, it's 0.16 shots per game. Is Cancelo really a must-have for 7.1? If you're on a free hit, because you are selling Salah, because you are selling Trent, it's so much easier to go and get the likes of Cancelo in if you want a free hit. I think he is. He's so good. They're so good defensively, and the way that they create chances and Cancelo's involvement in that is so, yeah. Me was amazing last season, to be fair. He seems to have good form now than earlier games. Yeah, I agree. Fernandes to Son or roll the transfer. I do Fernandes to Son because... would I? I probably would, but I don't... Oh, I don't love it. Because from next week, you'll be glad you made the move. But it's whether you do it now or next week. Oh, Hayes has said they're having issues. Fine. Cool. I think I was aware of that, but I didn't know if it had been fixed. We'll keep coming back to it. De Bruyne or Sterling if budget is not an issue. Sterling. For him being explosive. Cool. Let's put these back in as it was. If I go me, Tarkowski, it allows me to do a few things. 0.6. You can come out and I can go Brandon Williams, I think. Or I could go Ben Johnson. 3.9, same as Williams. Let's go Ben Johnson. Oh, my, hungry. And then I can go for any 4.5 goalkeeper here. Best 5.9 midfielder. Do I dare say Mbuemo for this week? For this week only Mbuemo. Long term, probably Jacob Ramsey of Aston Villa. I like. Would probably be top of my list. Is Jacob Ramsey. Save a bit of money and invest that elsewhere. Sterling or KDB? I'd go Sterling out of the two. Yep, that's where I would go. I just think he's more explosive. Again, if I'm buying one, it's De Bruyne. But for a free hit week, it's Sterling because of, you know, the ability to score a hat-trick if he wanted to is there for Sterling, but not there for De Bruyne. I'm going to be proved wrong here, but who's predicted the most? Here we go. This is interesting. I might end up not even going with Forster now. I don't love him as an option in goal. This could give me a way out of Southampton defence. I want to back against it. It's one of the things, like, I want to pick my fights this weekend, and I think backing against Southampton defence could be a good way to do it. Sorry, predicted defensive points this week. Bednarak is right up there, though. Let's have a look at the other fixtures. Where do you want to back, though? This is the issue. Where am I going to go? Thank you, guys, for the new subscribers. Me or Roberts? I'd go me. Better option than Alanga. Ramsey is long-term, yeah, but on a free hit, Alanga, I think he might start. But best possible wildcard, I can't do that now. I've had people ask me on a wildcard, and I think it's not a good week for it. I would wait and do it next week. Diaz, if I don't have enough funds for Cancelo. If you're on a free hit, fine. But I'd probably go for potentially go Maguire before I went him, because the attacking threat of Diaz is not that great. No, I'd probably go Diaz before Maguire, but I don't love not having to be able to get Cancelo. So I'm looking at defenders here. I want goalkeepers. I was not even sure what I'm doing. Pope, De Gea. Forster is so close to De Gea, though. Maybe it covers that Southampton bit. And then who's next? Who's the next cheapie? Sanchez. Let's have a look on here at goalkeepers. Predicted goalkeepers points this week. Why not? I need to change this to top 50 goalkeepers because Dubravka was lower down, interestingly, away at Brentford. Tony potentially back, though. Tony potentially back is probably what's driving that. Foster up at 3.9. I'd probably go Dubravka as my backup. Could go Raya and hope Newcastle don't score. 4.3 for Raya. Fine. Has he been playing recently? Yes. Yeah. Fine. Have I done transfers? So I'm on a free hit. So I'm going to keep... How much does this leave me with? 0.2. Would I want to invest this elsewhere? Are there any other cheap defenders who are worth going with? The top 5 players on a free hit. Yeah, great question. I put it out on Twitter. I think Pope was in it, actually. I actually think Pope was in it. Mahrez or Sterling? I'd probably go Mahrez first, but a midfield 4 of KDB, Bowen, Mahrez and Son. Thoughts? Good. You're just missing that United option, but I don't think it's such a hardship not to go with. Zlatan, welcome. Yeah, Pope was second on my priority list for this week when I tweeted it. Wow. Who should I replace King with? Again, it depends if you want them long term. Brozier is probably my number 1 priority for a forward this week. Cancelo replacements if you don't have enough funds. I'd still want a Man City option. Raya in goalkeeper is worth it. I don't mind him. He's my backup probably. Cancelo options, you can go Walker, because I think he'll play. But you could go Diaz. You could then go to Man United options, but I probably want something in that game. Sorry, I was going to have a look if there are any 4.1 defenders. .2, 4.1 in holding. Has Thomas been playing recently? He has, but he's 4.3 even, so I can't even do that. Williams is probably the best. Or Johnson. Fine. Newcastle at home or Forster, Norwich at home. How are we doing? Would I pick Fernandes or Sancho? I've got Fernandes in my team, so... De Bruyne or Sterling? Sterling for me, just because of how explosive he is. Pope usually gets 3 bonus when there's no goals, but it's Palace and Leicester, so I can't see him getting above 1 bonus with 1 or 2 save points. Yeah, they get 3 bonus if they keep a clean sheet and there's not goals. I can't see these games being like 0-0, but how has he done for bonus points this week? In previous weeks. Let's get it up. Oh, that's predicted points. I don't want that. This is going to go to the wire. How long do I have? Only 25 minutes. Oh no. Oh no, I thought I had longer. So, FPL. Right, goalkeepers. How do I... Oh no, actually we want defend and goalkeeper of Burnley. Let's go per start as well, per game. Baseline. Tarkowski, Pope is not that great, but Pope has more bonus per game than the other centre-backs. This is true. Is it enough to just stick with Mahrez and Cancelo because you want to get Ward-Prowse? Yeah? Well, that's fine. I would probably want triple Man City, but... I'd probably want triple Man City. So I'd find a way to get one of them. MNT, Alan and Sutton. We've hit 200 likes on the stream as well, guys. Thank you. I always promise to stop plugging it once we get a long way. And appreciate you guys and all the new subscribers as well. We've hit 16k subscribers today. So Appreciate it. My thing is, if one of those centre-back scores that I don't own, I'm going to be furious with myself. Why did I do Simicast to Johnson? Because Johnson's likely to play because Soufal's had a surgery, so it's likely to be Johnson at right back for Wolves this weekend. He's last on my bench though. Yeah, just don't know what to do with that final position. So, well, final couple of positions. So either I ditch, again it's massively zoomed in, Foster or Pope. Pope if you can get him, but I'm going double centre backs, which is why I don't have Pope in my team. So like me out, Forster out for Pope, and then like Livramento in, and then downgrade Raya to like anyone, to Gun. Those are the decisions I've got. Let me just take a screenshot. Raya, Gun on my bench, Foster, Pope, me, Livramento. It's such a close call. Wish we just got news of that Southampton team. Would sort everything out. No news yet. From what I can see, yet on a potential news for Southampton team. Alanga or Foden? Alanga or Foden? I'd go Foden if I could afford him. Alanga's sat on my bench. Alanga over Foden for sure. Forster or Dubravka? Tony coming back makes me favour going with Forster a little bit. The lack of goal threat that Newcastle have got without St Maximin and without Wilson is what's favour. I might. Yeah. Bye. Cool. I've upgraded the bench here. How do I activate free hits? So if you've made transfers, you have to go on. So go on the website, go on the website, make another transfer, one transfer, and then you can click activate play free hit when you make that transfer on the website. If you don't want to do that transfer, make that one transfer, and then you can undo it because you can make unlimited transfers after you've activated your free hit. So make sure your free hit is activated, everyone. No, Pope's not out. Don't worry, I'm not. Pope, I need to put it in the text bit. Pope is fine. Don't I? Pope is absolutely fine. No, this isn't necessarily my final team. There you go. I have double Burnley defence over Pope and Maguire. A bit fun to hope a Burnley corner goal, then a lot of Pope saves. It's true. Could you imagine if they get a penalty against them though, and Pope saves it? I'm actually so unsure. There's part of me wanting to start Raya as well. How many saves does he tend to make? It's pretty good for save points, to be fair. Oi. You know when sometimes you just want to go and do something crazy? You know, FPL Canary or Line, but you're my fave because I like the way you give your suggestions. I appreciate any of you watching. I know at this time there are a lot of streamers live, and I take no offense for people deciding to watch someone else over me, but I hope you watch my videos as well. Coutinho or Kulusevski? Coutinho. I don't think Kulusevski will start this week, personally. Mahrez or Sancho? This week, Mahrez. Yeah, Mahrez. Would I favour Maguire for a 1 week punt, or Kyle Walker-Peters would be a better shout? Thank you. Probably Kyle Walker-Peters, either on a free hit or not. Yeah, if you're on the app, if you do one transfer, at the bottom there'll be a play free hit button. Click that, Ethan. Confirm the transfer. Then you can undo the transfer if you want. But yeah, you have to make one transfer to do it. Livermore or Walker Peters. I'd probably go Walker Peters, pretty safer to start. Is Raya completely stupid? Am I doing something really stupid here backing against Southampton? Where is he on the predicted goalkeeper list? Mahrez or Sancho? Mahrez. Oh, he's here. He's close. He's really close. It's really close. Norwich fighting. They're just... I don't... Well, so in Newcastle. What am I on about? What am I on about? How do you think... Will Gundogan and Foden play this game week? I think you'll get at least one of the two. I would worry about Gundogan. I would worry about Gundogan. Captain Kane, Son, or Weghorst. Thanks for all the tips. This has been a wild season for sure. Can you... Am I completely crazy for going Raya in goal? Transfers confirmed. Cool. You think you should do Pope? Don't go Raya. If you can afford to hire. I was gone for 2 minutes and now you've got Raya. Oh no. You're going to. He's good at the start of the season. I just... you can afford to hire. Would I go for him over any other keepers? If I wasn't having Pope, then yes. Benarak and Pope or Tarko and Vosk and Forster. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to have him in my team. When you just sometimes like... He made some howlers since he's come back from injury. Yeah, but like... I think he's done okay. He's made lots of saves as well. Look, he's made almost 2 save points in 2 of the games. To be fair, they were against top teams, but... Raya is the goalkeeper. Why Raya? Right, so if I read the comments here, we've got everyone stay calm. Why Raya? Raya as in the goalkeeper. What am I doing? He's made some howlers. You guys are really backing me. Is Livramento starting? We don't know yet. We don't have any team news yet. Maguire and Livramento or Shaw and Walker Peters? I go Maguire and Livramento. I'm not sure on Shaw starting. You think I'm going to go back? Yes, here we go. The whole stream back in Raya. You wait for him to save a penalty tomorrow. Let's see what Twitter thinks of me putting Raya in. They're going to be clueless. They're going to think, what has happened to him? What has this stream done to him? Livramento or Coutinho? I would play probably Livramento out of the two. Raya, do something fun. Yeah, why not? What's everyone between Liver and Tellez? I just stay clear of the Man United fullbacks if I could, because I'm just not sure enough that they start. I'm just not sure enough why they start. Hey yo, I left the stream for 5 minutes to eat something and man's got Raya. I'm just trying to do something fun. Right. Let's put a poll out. Let's put a poll out. Varane or Maguire? I'd probably go Maguire. I need to customize the look of my team. Most people are going with you just crazy, unfortunately, but let's see what people on Twitter are saying. Nope. Welcome, Escape Games. Thank you for subscribing. Will Forster 100% start? Well, could you imagine if Forster and Raya both get benched? Would I rather be 10 top game finishes in a row or win FPL once? Depends how bad my other seasons were. Like, if they were all dreadful, then I'd probably go top 10k 10 years in a row. But if they were fine, like top 100k finishes, then I would go win FPL. I'd probably just choose win FPL either way, to be honest. Eric Peters or Roberts? I'd probably go Roberts out the two. What are you guys saying? Let's see how many people have voted on this poll. 59 votes, with the majority going you just crazy. Who should I start? KWP or Dallo? I'd probably go KWP. Please help. Yeah, KWP. Likelihood of Sterling start? I think so. I've got him in my team, maybe 70%. We're actually 2 subscribers away from 16 and a half. And I'm sure there's 2 people in here who are not subscribed, who are just watching along nicely. Thanks, Harry. No worries. You're 1 point off for free hit team. Who should I change? Probably Fernandes to Sancho if I had to change. Should I start Ward-Prowse or Varane? I would probably go Ward-Prowse or Varane. I would probably go out of the 2 Ward-Prowse or Varane. Ward-Prowse, I think. Sancho instead of Bruno because it will let me get Sterling, probably. I don't mind. The Sancho-Bruno one's quite a close call, I think. If there is even one save for Raya tomorrow, I'm going crazy. Just this is the thing, right? Hear me out. First of all, the goalkeeper thing is something else, but I can't see Burnley not scoring from a set piece against these 2 teams who concede so many goals from set pieces. I could have got the right one already with Tarkowski Weghorst, but if it's me that scores it, then I would kick myself if I'd have got it wrong. That I've gone with the wrong one, because I knew there was a chance for headed goal. Newcastle seem more likely to beat Brentford than Norwich, Southampton. Yeah, maybe, but I could actually go Dubravka. How much is Dubravka? 4-4. Do I have any money left in my team? Then you're going to make me pick between the... You're going to make me pick between the two, aren't you? Dubravka or Raya on free hit. Things are going into meltdown. Bro, you're a genius. You're going to go Foster too, otherwise I can't get Sterling. I mean, I don't have... I mean, he's on my bench, actually. So I do have him. I got so many tabs open as well. Where's Dubravka here? 3.61. Raya, 3.8. It's just Tony coming back. Is Foster not playing? I think he will. Harry's gone rogue last minute. I've also seen my viewers have shot up because everyone on Twitter's obviously seen I've gone rogue and thought, what on earth has happened? Start Livramento or Maguire. If I could afford Maguire, I'd go for him. If I could afford him. Sure, Laporte. Probably go Laporte. I don't like either of them at all. If I'm on a free hit, I wouldn't touch either of those with a barge pole. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably go Laporte. There are people with Chris Woods in their team telling me that I'm crazy because they've all got Chris Wood in. It can't be worse than my goalkeeper scoring an own goal last night, can it? Maguire or Walker-Peters? Maguire or Walker-Peters? Probably Walker-Peters. Love the deadline stream as per Reese, welcome. Fernandes and Foden or... Sorry, let me get my team back up for those asking. Fernandes and Foden or Mahrez and Sancho on a free hit. Fernandes and Foden or Mahrez and Sancho for free hit. Mahrez and Sancho. Mahrez and Sancho. Does it? Wood, Ward-Prowse in for King Bowen. I don't love the Wood transfer in, but he has a double-double, which I understand why you do it. So, I mean, the transfers are better because I like the midfield transfer so much that it's worth it, but I don't love the... Let's speed things up again. We've got 7 minutes. Any chances I captain Raya? Well, maybe that's what I should do. No, I'm not going that crazy. Oh, I've got a poll in the way of the chat, don't I? Let's close that. You're on a free hit. Got to be a bit rough. Otherwise, it's a waste of an opportunity. Could you imagine if he hauls tomorrow? What's the worst that could happen? Pope could save a penalty. Sancho for Foden. Yeah, I would have Sancho over Foden. 5 minutes left. Am I going to hold my nerve? Am I going to hold my nerve? Me, red card. Well, yeah, that's true. Why won't it let me play my free hit now? You should be able to, but you've got to make one more transfer and click play free hit when you make the transfer. You have to make an extra transfer. If you're on the app or on the site, go and try and make an extra transfer. And when you go to click confirm, there will be a button that says play free hit. Free hit active. Just got to check these things. Sancho or Bruno. If I had to pick between the... Yeah, Bruno if I could go for either. People loving the madness. Or think I'm just playing crazy. Please just lock it in. No chance. I'm going to wait till the last minute. I'm actually going to do that. Dubravka starts, yeah? His first choice, yeah? Yeah. Leaves me 0.2. Forster to Dubravka. But I think I'm going to start Raya. I think. Yeah, as Magic says, please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the carnage. But Kane or Ronaldo, I'd go Kane out of the two. Elanga or Gallagher, I'd go Elanga as a sub, but if I had to start one, I'd probably go Gallagher. Better option on a free hit, KDB and Sancho or Raz and Bruno. Probably Raheem and Bruno. How long have we got? It's 3 minutes. Well, yeah, like he kept clean sheet and he hauled. Shaw versus KWP. But like Dubravka's capable of it as well. St. Maximin out. Like they didn't look good. They haven't looked good, Newcastle, since St. Max went off. Scored once against West Ham at home. They're better at home. I'm doing it. I'm locked in. Lock it in. We're done. We are done here. But St. Max and Wilson both out on Trippier, who was getting them goals. Exactly. Sometimes you've got to do something crazy. No one wins the game without breaking the template occasionally. Yeah, I do that, Govind. You locked in too. Such a great feeling after such a long week of research. Yeah. Cool. They'll all get 3 points now and it won't mean anything. It's true. I'm probably overthinking a thing that's going to sway like 2 or 3 points. If Southampton concede tonight, I'll be very happy, but I wonder if they won't. Forster and me or Pope and Begnarak? Forster and me. Doing it for the memes, fair play. I'm not doing it for the memes. I just want the double Burnley defence. Oh, yeah. True. Johnson ahead of Amati. True that. Thanks, Hassan. We're ready. Free hit active. Your team has been saved. Let me take a screenshot of that so when they try and rob me. You know, when you log in and your free hit hasn't actually been active. Anyway, thank you all for joining. We're going to have to wrap up the stream now because it is 6:30. Hope you've enjoyed. I hope Raya scores 15 points this week. And I will be back again on Saturday for a new video. Start planning for the upcoming game weeks. If you haven't liked the stream before you go, please do. If you haven't subscribed before we go, please make sure you have. Thank you for 16k subscribers. And I'll be back again very soon. Evening.